There is a quiet calling that echoes through the heart of humanity. It is a whisper of connection, a longing for harmony in a world often lost in noise. This call is felt most deeply by those we might call the gridworkers. A gridworker is not someone who builds with steel or wire, but with light, trust, and human connection. Their work is subtle, yet profound. They are the gentle architects of a new reality, one founded on unity and shared purpose. Their mission is simple to state but vast in its scope, to mend the unseen fractures in our collective spirit and weave us back together into a beautiful, coherent whole. They are here to help us remember that we are all part of the same magnificent design. The gridworker walks through life with an open heart. She sees the world not as a collection of separate individuals, but as a living, breathing network of energy. This network, this grid, connects us all. When it is healthy, life flows with grace, creativity, and love. But when it is blocked by old wounds, fear, or misunderstanding, we experience conflict and separation. The gridworker's primary goal is to find these blockages and gently dissolve them. She does this not with force, but with compassion and a deep understanding of human nature. Her purpose is to remind us that our greatest strength lies not in our independence, but in our beautiful, interconnected dependence on one another. Her journey is one of profound service. She is not seeking fame or recognition for her efforts. The reward is in the work itself, the feeling of a connection restored, of a team finding its rhythm, of a community healing its past. She moves with a quiet confidence, guided by an inner knowing that transcends ordinary logic. This is the essence of her being. The gridworker understands that to build a better world, we must first build better connections. We must learn to see the divine spark in each other and honor the unique gifts that each person brings to the collective. This is the sacred work of mending the grid, one heart at a time. This mission is born from a deep love for humanity. It is a response to the quiet suffering that comes from feeling alone and disconnected. The gridworker knows that this feeling of separation is an illusion, a trick of the mind that keeps us small and afraid. Her work is to gently pull back the veil and reveal the luminous truth of our unity. She is a beacon of hope, showing us that a world based on collaboration, trust, and mutual respect is not just a distant dream. It is an emerging reality, and she is here to help us all step into it, together. She invites us to become gridworkers in our own lives, to tend to our own connections with care and attention. The gridworker navigates the world using a very special tool. It is not something you can hold in your hand. This tool is her intuition, a deep and resonant inner knowing. It acts as a compass, always pointing her toward truth and authenticity. This intuition is not a sudden flash of insight, but a constant, gentle hum in the background of her awareness. It is fed by a vast reservoir of memory, not just from her own life, but from the collective human story. She can feel the echoes of the past, the old patterns and unresolved pains that still linger in people and places. These memories whisper to her, revealing the root causes of current problems. This intuitive sense allows her to perceive what is often hidden from plain sight. When she meets someone, she feels more than their words or their appearance. She senses their inner landscape, their hidden strengths, their quiet fears, and the song their soul truly wants to sing. This is not a psychic power in the way many think of it. It is a state of deep presence and profound empathy. It is the ability to listen with her whole being. This allows her to spot dissonance, the places where someone's actions are out of alignment with their true self, or where a group's energy is blocked by an unspoken tension. Her intuition is her guide to finding these points of disharmony. The memories she feels are not always clear stories. They are more like emotional frequencies or energetic signatures. A room might hold the echo of an old argument. A family might carry the weight of an ancestor's unresolved grief. The gridworker senses these things as a subtle pressure or a feeling of heaviness. She doesn't need to know all the historical details. Her intuition gives her the essence of the problem, allowing her to understand what needs to be healed. This ability to read the energetic history of a situation is crucial to her work. It helps her to clean out the old, stagnant energy and make space for something new and healthier to grow in its place. This process requires a deep trust in her own feelings. The world of logic and reason often dismisses such subtle perceptions. Therefore, the gridworker must cultivate a strong inner core, a quiet confidence in what she senses. She learns to distinguish the clear signal of her intuition from the noisy chatter of her own mind or the projections of others. This intuitive compass is her most precious gift. It is what allows her to move with grace and certainty, to know where to offer her energy, and to guide others back to the truth of their own hearts. It is the silent language of the grid, and she is a fluent speaker. One of the Gridworker's most beautiful gifts is her ability to see the unique genius hidden within every person. Where others might see flaws or weaknesses, she sees untapped potential and raw talent. She looks at people and sees their inner gold, the special quality that only they can bring to the world. It might be a gift for calming others, a knack for innovative thinking, a talent for organizing details, or a heart that overflows with compassion. She recognizes these gifts not through resumes or accomplishments, but through an intuitive feeling. She senses the frequency of a person's core talent and knows its value to the greater whole. Once she recognizes these individual talents, her work as a weaver begins. She has a natural understanding of human chemistry, an instinct for how different gifts can complement and enhance one another. She knows that the quiet listener is the perfect partner for the bold visionary. She understands that the meticulous planner can provide the structure needed for the creative artist to soar. She sees the bigger picture, the beautiful tapestry that can be created when the right threads are brought together. Her joy is in making these introductions, in gently nudging people toward the collaborations where they will not only succeed, but also feel deeply fulfilled. This process is delicate and requires great care. The Gridworker does not force connections. Instead, she creates opportunities. She might organize a gathering, introduce two people over coffee, or simply speak of one person's talents to another. She plants seeds of connection and then stands back to allow them to grow organically. She trusts that when the right people come together, a natural harmony will emerge. A kind of magic happens. Suddenly, a team clicks into place, ideas flow effortlessly, and challenges are met with a sense of shared purpose and ease. This is the symphony she helps to conduct, where each instrument plays its perfect part. Her ability to see this potential in others is a healing act in itself. Many people walk through life feeling unseen or undervalued, their greatest gifts buried under self-doubt or criticism. When the Gridworker looks at them and genuinely sees their gold, it can be a transformative experience. It gives them permission to own their talents and to share them with the world. By seeing the best in others, she helps them see it in themselves. In this way, she not only builds effective teams, but also helps individuals to blossom into their fullest, most authentic selves. She is a mirror, reflecting back the beauty that was always there. No Gridworker walks her path alone. The very nature of her mission, to weave people together, means that she must be deeply woven into a web of trusted relationships herself. At the heart of her work is a core alliance, a small group of close collaborators who share her vision and complement her gifts. These are not just colleagues, they are soul family. The trust between them is absolute, built over time through shared challenges and mutual respect. This inner circle provides the stable foundation from which she can extend her work out into the wider world. It is her sanctuary, her sounding board, and her source of strength. Within this core team, each member plays a vital role, contributing their unique genius to the collective mission. The Gridworker is the heart of the operation, the intuitive center who senses the patterns and guides the overall direction. But she relies on others to bring different skills to the table. For instance, there is often a hypnotist in her circle. This person is a master of the inner world, skilled at helping people release old, limiting beliefs and emotional baggage. They work on the deep subconscious levels, clearing the inner obstacles that prevent harmony from taking root. Their work is essential for preparing the ground for new growth. Then there is the inventor, a visionary thinker who dreams up the practical structures and systems needed to support the new reality. While the Gridworker feels the what and the why, the inventor figures out the how. This person might be a tech genius, a community organizer, or a brilliant strategist. They take the energetic blueprint felt by the Gridworker and translate it into tangible forms, new ways of organizing communities, new platforms for communication, new models for collaborative projects. The inventor builds the vessels that can hold the new, higher frequency of connection that the team is anchoring. This small, dedicated team is a living example of the harmony they wish to create in the world. They operate not from a place of hierarchy, but from a circle of mutual empowerment. Each person's contribution is seen as equally valuable. They listen to each other deeply, honor each other's insights, and move forward with a shared intention. This core alliance is a microcosm of the new world, a demonstration that when a few people come together in total trust and with a clear purpose, they can create ripples of change that extend far beyond their immediate circle. Their collaboration is a powerful symphony of love in action. A key ally in my mission is the hypnotist, a gentle guide into the hidden landscapes of the mind. The hypnotist's role is profoundly important, for they work directly with the old stories and deep-seated fears that keep people locked in patterns of separation. While I can sense these blockages on an energetic level, the hypnotist possesses the specific tools to help individuals access and transform them. They understand that many of our collective problems are rooted in personal subconscious beliefs about not being good enough, not being safe, or not belonging. These are the shadows that must be brought into the light. The hypnotist's work is one of deep compassion and safety. They create a sacred space where a person can relax their conscious mind and journey into the deeper realms of their being. In this state, it becomes possible to identify the origins of old wounds and limiting decisions made long ago. The hypnotist does not erase the past, but rather helps the individual to see it from a new perspective, to release the emotional charge, and to choose a new, more empowering story. This process is like weeding a garden. It clears out the tangled roots of fear and shame, making the soil of the psyche fertile for new seeds of trust and self-worth to be planted. The collaboration between the hypnotist and me is seamless and intuitive. I might sense that a particular team is being held back by a collective fear of failure. I can then bring in the hypnotist, who can work with the group to uncover and release this shared belief. The hypnotist provides the focused, therapeutic intervention that addresses the specific blockages I have identified. Together, we form a powerful partnership for healing. I see the energetic knot, and the hypnotist provides the gentle hands that can carefully untie it without breaking the thread. This work of clearing the shadows is fundamental to building a new world. We cannot simply place a new, harmonious structure on top of a foundation of unresolved trauma. The old pain will inevitably crack the new creation. The hypnotist's gift is to help purify the foundation, one person and one group at a time. By helping people liberate themselves from their inner prisons, they free up immense amounts of creative energy. This liberated energy can then be channeled into building the positive future I envision. Their work is a quiet revolution of the heart, clearing the path for true and lasting harmony. Section 6. The Inventor's Spark, Building the New. While the hypnotist clears the past, the inventor dreams of the future. This essential member of the Gridworkers Alliance is the master builder, the practical visionary who gives form to the team's aspirations. The inventor is grounded in the real world, yet their mind is constantly exploring new possibilities. They listen to the Gridworkers' intuitive sense of what is needed, a new way for communities to share resources, a new platform for authentic connection, a new model for education, and their mind immediately begins to design the blueprint. They are the bridge between the energetic potential and the physical manifestation. The inventor's genius lies in their ability to think outside of existing systems. They are not bound by the old ways of doing things. They see the limitations of our current structures, the competition, the hierarchy, the inefficiency, and they are inspired to create something better. Their creations are always designed with harmony and human connection at their core. They might design a software application that encourages collaboration instead of conflict, or a model for local governance that gives everyone a voice. Their work is practical, innovative, and always in service of the larger mission of unity. They build the new vessels that can carry the spirit of the age. The partnership between the Gridworker and the inventor is a dynamic dance between feeling and form. The Gridworker will come to the inventor with a feeling, a sense of a need. I feel that people are longing for a way to connect with their neighbors in a more meaningful way, she might say. The inventor takes this feeling and translates it into a tangible project, a community skill-sharing network, a series of local festivals, or a neighborhood tool library. The Gridworker holds the why, the deep human purpose, while the inventor masterfully crafts the how, the practical steps to make it a reality. The inventor's spark is crucial because dreams of a better world can easily remain as just dreams. It takes a special kind of genius to anchor those high ideals into our day-to-day reality. The inventor provides this grounding force. They remind the team that vision must be paired with action, that inspiration must be followed by construction. They are the architects and engineers of the new paradigm, building the tangible infrastructure that will allow a culture of harmony and teamwork to flourish. Through their creations, the invisible work of the Gridworker becomes visible, tangible, and accessible to all. They make the dream real. Section 7. The Sacred Geometry of Teamwork. Finding where we belong. At the very heart of the Gridworker's philosophy is a profound truth. Teamwork is the secret to changing the world. She understands that the age of the lone hero is over. The complex challenges we face today cannot be solved by a single individual, no matter how brilliant or powerful. The only way forward is together. This requires a new understanding of teamwork, one that is less about rigid roles and top-down authority, and more about a fluid, harmonious collaboration. It is about creating a space where the collective intelligence of the group can emerge, a wisdom far greater than the sum of its parts. The Gridworker sees teams as living organisms, each with its own energy and purpose. Her skill lies in sensing the sacred geometry of a team, the ideal arrangement of people and talents that will allow it to thrive. She knows that it's not just about having talented people. It's about having the right combination of people who genuinely belong together. There is a feeling of rightness when the correct members of a team come together. It feels like coming home. A sense of ease and flow permeates their interactions, and they are able to achieve remarkable things with very little effort or struggle. Recognizing who belongs is a key part of her work. She feels this through a deep resonance. When people are meant to work together, their energetic fields seem to click into place. There is a natural rapport, a shared understanding that goes beyond words. Conversely, she can also sense when someone is in the wrong place, when their energy is creating friction or holding the group back. This is never a judgment of the person, but simply a recognition of misalignment. Her gentle guidance can help people find the team or project where their unique gifts will be a perfect fit, allowing both the individual and the group to flourish. This principle of belonging is essential for creating true harmony. When people feel that they belong, they feel safe to be their authentic selves. They are willing to be vulnerable, to share their wildest ideas, and to support their teammates unconditionally. This creates a powerful field of trust and creativity. The Gridworker's mission is to help create more of these deeply resonant teams, these pockets of harmony, and high-functioning collaboration. She knows that as more of these teams form, they will connect with each other, creating a network of light that will eventually transform the entire human grid. Section 8. The Challenge of Trust. Overcoming the fear of isolation. Even for the Gridworker, whose life is dedicated to connection, the path is not without its challenges. The deepest challenge she faces is one of trust, both trusting others and trusting the process itself. Her work requires her to be open and vulnerable, to lead with her heart in a world that often rewards defensiveness. Old wounds from past betrayals, either her own or the collective's, can surface as a temptation to pull back, to work alone, and to protect herself from potential hurt. This is the shadow of her great gift, the fear of isolation. The impulse to isolate is a subtle and powerful one. When faced with misunderstanding or resistance, the Gridworker may feel an urge to retreat into her own world, believing it is safer to rely only on herself. She might think, "It's just easier if I do it all myself." This is the great test of her faith. She must constantly remind herself that her true power lies in connection, not in solitary effort. To succumb to isolation would be to deny the very principle she is here to embody. It would be like a weaver deciding to work with only a single thread. The beautiful tapestry she is meant to create would be impossible. Overcoming this challenge requires a conscious and continuous practice of vulnerability. It means choosing to trust even when it feels risky. It means reaching out for support from her core alliance when she feels overwhelmed or discouraged. It is in these moments of shared vulnerability that the bonds of her team become even stronger. By allowing her trusted allies to see her own struggles, she deepens the intimacy and trust within the group. She models the very behavior she encourages in others. That true strength is found not in hiding our weaknesses, but in sharing them with those who can help us heal. This journey with trust is not about achieving a state of fearless perfection. It is about learning to dance with the fear. It is about acknowledging the desire to retreat and then consciously choosing connection anyway. Every time the Gridworker chooses trust over isolation, she strengthens the grid of light. She sends a powerful ripple out into the world, a message that it is safe to open our hearts, safe to rely on one another, and safe to build our dreams together. Her own journey through this challenge becomes a teaching for all of us, a reminder that the path to unity begins with a simple, brave choice to trust. Section 9, Rising Together, the Dawn of Collective Harmony. The Gridworker's quest is ultimately a message of profound hope. It is a vision of a world reborn not through conflict or revolution, but through a quiet and steady rising of collective consciousness. This transformation is fueled by the simple, powerful forces of teamwork and intuition. As we learn to listen to the subtle whispers of our inner guidance, we will be led to our true collaborators. As we learn to trust and honor the gifts in one another, we will form teams that can accomplish the unimaginable. This is not a distant fantasy. It is the next natural step in our human evolution. The journey begins within each of us. We are all grid workers in our own lives. We all have the capacity to use our intuition to sense what is true and where we belong. We all have the choice to operate from a place of trust and collaboration rather than fear and competition. The first step is to quiet the noise of the outside world and begin to listen to the wisdom of our own hearts. Who are the people who make you feel most alive? What collaborations make your spirit sing? Your intuition is your personal guide, leading you to your place within the great emerging tapestry of a new earth. Let us embrace the power of our togetherness. Let us seek out the alliances where we feel a deep sense of belonging and shared purpose. Let us learn to see the gold in others and reflect it back to them, empowering them to shine their brightest. The challenges facing our world may seem vast, but they are no match for the creative power of human hearts united in trust. When we work in harmony, we create a resonant field that dissolves old problems and attracts elegant solutions. We become more than just a team. We become a force of nature, an unstoppable current of positive change. The dawn of a new era of harmony is upon us. It is rising not from a single leader or a grand ideology, but from countless points of light, from small, dedicated teams and conscious communities all over the world. The Gridworker's message is a call to join this rising. Trust your inner knowing, find your people, weave your unique gifts into the whole. Together, through the sacred geometry of teamwork and the clear guidance of our intuition, we will mend the fractures of the past. Together, we will rise and build a world that is more beautiful, more loving, and more harmonious than we have ever dared to imagine.